Yeah, welcome to the show. It's your Monday Night Raw post show for Monday, June 7th. Drew and Bobby are official for Hell in a Cell inside the cell. Kofi and Riddle have a great match. And what was that Shayna Alexa stuff? Let's get to that. Let's go. Good God Almighty. What's up, everybody? Thanks for joining me here tonight on the Ringside Report Network. I know a lot of you didn't watch Raw tonight. A lot of you in Montreal. A lot of you all over Canada watching the big hockey game tonight. The Canadians won. Congratulations to the Canadians moving on to the next round of the playoffs. Canadians executing a complete sweep. 4-game sweep of the Winnipeg Jets tonight. Pretty big win in overtime for the Canadians. I'll admit I had a little picture-in-picture. I was watching the game on the little screen at certain points. I was mostly focused on Raw. You guys know me. I'm not really into hockey, but I know it's a big deal. I live in Montreal, so I was checking it out a little bit. Nice to see them get the win. Sorry to my man Patrick C. Hamilton out in Regina. I know he was a big Winnipeg Jets fan, and they didn't come through for him. So, sorry, Patrick. You're a member of the team. You're a loyal dude. And I'm sorry that the Jets lost. But I'm happy also for all the Montreal people that got their victories tonight. A lot of people on Raw got some victories, some weird matches, a weird episode of Raw. We have to start at the end because the end was just bizarre, and it's what I just saw, and I have a lot of thoughts. It was a very weird finish to Monday Night Raw. It was like a horror movie. And not, I don't really like horror movies to begin with, so, I don't know. I don't think it was in a good way either. It was pretty bad. People already saying this was one of the worst endings of Raw ever. Might have been the worst finish to a Monday Night Raw ever. As far as closing segments, it was pretty terrible. It was pretty terrible. I can't lie to you guys. I'm trying to see a silver lining in this, and I don't really see one. Not good. A shout out to everybody in the chat before we get into it. I see Brian Firth dropping a super chat earlier on in the day. Doug Hepburn as well. I know Doug is celebrating the Canadians win. Doug is a member of the team. Angelo Contagonis, of course, a member of the team. Very excited tonight. Don't forget to become a member of the YouTube channel. Click that join right underneath the video. If you're watching us on YouTube, join. Be a member of the channel. If you're not watching us on YouTube, you're watching us on Twitch or Facebook, you can go to donate.ringsidereport.net. You could also buy some merch over at merch.ringsidereport.net. This very cup that I sip my Gatorade out of when I'm doing this show in plus 30-something degree weather here. Super hot. You could buy this cup over at merch.ringsidereport.net. Drop us a super chat as well anytime during the show. If you have any questions or you want me to cover anything in professional wrestling, I'll cover it here for you. Alexa Bliss does Alexa's Playground with Lily the Doll and Shayna Baszler to close the show. It was, So Alexa is on the swing set in the ring. Shayna comes out. Alexa says she wants to be friends with Shayna, and she'll be friends with Shayna and gives her a chance to be friends if she apologizes to Lily the Doll for saying that she was just a stupid doll last week. Shayna says, it was Alexa's fault that Reginald kept having these accidents. And if you haven't been paying attention, you're like, what do you mean accidents? Like I'm the father of like a 3, almost 4-year-old, so when I hear accidents, I'm like, what, is Reginald pissing his pants? Like, what's going on here? But by accidents, she means the fireballs that keep erupting to scare Reginald and distract Shayna and Nia from their matches. Shayna also blamed Alexa for losing the tag team titles there with Nia. Shayna then grabs the doll and says, okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry that you're just a stupid doll. And she's saying this talking to the doll. She's still talking to it like it's a person, but acting like, well, I'm too big for this, even though she seems like she is playing along and she is down with the program. Shayna then drops the doll. Alexa attacks her for doing that, for manhandling or I guess you can't say manhandling, just being rough with the doll. Sorry. Can you say manhandling if you're talking about women? Woman handling? But manhandling is a word, but is that like canceled now? I don't know. Moving on. So Shayna grabs the doll. Alexa gets mad. Alexa attacks Shayna, but then falls out of the ring. And then Shayna triumphantly stomps on the doll. She puts her foot on the doll, and then she does a big stomp on it. Like, that'll teach you, Alexa. And then weird effects, of course, start happening because, Shayna's messed with the voodoo doll. Weird, video effects and lights start flickering in the Thunderdome. And Shayna is like a little worried about this, so she decides to leave the ring. She then walks up the ramp, and fireballs start shooting out around the ramp near Shayna. She gets to the stage, and like a huge wall of fire appears. So she's all freaked out. She runs backstage. There's no one backstage for some reason. The lights are flickering backstage as well. We've entered full horror movie scene at this point. Lights flickering. A big crate drops from the sky like a few feet from Shayna. Like, oh, the doll's trying to kill me. And then another big piece of metal like falls right behind Shayna. And Shayna's like walking around the arena. She tries to get out of the arena, but she can't. The doors are locked. There's nobody around, by the way. Of course, a cameraman is right there with her, because we're seeing this on the show. So Shayna, she can't get out of the arena. She finds a little room. She gets into the room that has like a chain lock on it. Like in an apartment, a chain lock, like a thing you slide and goes chink, and then you can crack open the door and be like, who is it? Like in a hotel or in an apartment. I never seen that in an arena. The door had this other lock, like I think they put that lock on for the horror movie type gimmick. I don't know why it was weird. The lock was strange. So she gets in this room. She barricades herself in the room because she's scared of all this stuff happening. Right? She's scared of all this stuff happening. So then she looks in a mirror in this dark room with the lights flickering. She looks in a mirror and she sees that the doll is in the room. She turns around and doesn't see the doll in real life. She looks in the mirror again and the doll is there. So she kicks the mirror and shatters the mirror. But a piece of the mirror is still there, and she can still see the doll. The lights go out, and Shayna is just screaming in terror. Arrgh! Badass Shayna Baszler is the victim in this horror movie scene that ended Monday Night Raw. It was crazy. I can't believe they actually ended Raw like this. Like, are they messing with us at this point? Or do they think that this is good? I really don't know. It's strange. It was not a good ending to a wrestling show. The wrestling show itself was all right, but the finish of the wrestling show was, one of the worst finishes you'll ever see on an episode of Monday Night Raw. And quite frankly, baffling. To close the show with this is your main event angle. Alexa and her evil doll haunting Shayna around the arena And the ending is just lights going out and Shayna screaming in terror. Is Shayna okay? Did the doll eat her or burn her alive or drop a crate down or electrocute? Like, what happened to Shayna? Is she dead? I don't understand. It was very strange. It was very strange. Doug Hepburn says, Vince will try to make Fiend, Alexa, Lily a horror movie franchise. I mean, if they did that, maybe we wouldn't have to see them on Raw. Honestly, when Shayna stomped on Lily the doll in the middle of the ring tonight, I thought for a second, like, okay, they're just going to kill this. Shayna's just going to be like, it's a stupid doll. She's going to rip it to shreds. Alexa's going to, like, snap out of it, and it's going to be over. We could just move on. But they went deeper into it. And Bray Wyatt, by the way, like, he's missing in action. There are different rumors as to why he's not around. Personal issues, I think. I just kind of leave it at that. Might be some mental health issues going on with Bray Wyatt. I don't know. But, I hope he's all right. I hope the man himself is all right. I'm not a huge fan of his TV character, but you would figure that he would be involved in this at some point, right? Him and Alexa had that whole thing, but she did cost him the match at WrestleMania. We haven't seen The Fiend since, right? And then Alexa's kind of taken on his gimmick. And using it to feud with Shayna Baszler? Or I guess Shayna's just the beginning? Like this is an ascent up the card for Alexa and this gimmick? I don't know. It's not something that I want to see continue. It's not something that I want to see ascend up the card. I don't really want to see Alexa move up, but I mean, they main evented the show with her tonight, right? So they obviously have some sort of idea on what they're doing with her. They obviously have some sort of plan on what to do with Alexa Bliss. But it's not good. And tonight's finish was awful. Some decent matches on the show tonight. Charlotte Flair and Rhea Ripley against Asuka and Nikki Cross was solid. The finish wasn't great, but the match itself was really good. You have 4 wrestlers who are all excellent. Nikki Cross is one of the most underrated talents in the WWE, has been for years. Years now. I remember Asuka and Nikki Cross, it was like over 3 years ago in NXT, they had a last woman standing match that was incredible. And at that point, I was like, who is this Nikki Cross? She's fantastic. I was a Nikki Cross fan back then. Asuka and Nikki Cross had a kick-ass match in NXT, and now they team tonight. That's a good tag team. It's kind of weird that Nikki Cross is like the leader of that tag team because she's doing the feud with Charlotte and Rhea Ripley right now, kind of. But I thought the tag team was good. Nikki Cross and Asuka beating Rhea Ripley and Charlotte Flair. Charlotte and Rhea were arguing, and eventually they fought during the match. Charlotte hit natural selection on Rhea Ripley, her own tag team partner, and then Nikki Cross pinned Rhea to get the win. Like, the finish wasn't great, but the lead up to it was good. It was a good match. Like I said, all 4 of them are top talents. Rhea, Charlotte, Asuka, Nikki. I know it's going to be Charlotte versus Rhea for the title at Hell in a Cell. But Asuka and Nikki deserve to kind of be in the mix for the title. We'll see what happens there. But I like that match. It was one of the better matches on Raw. Kofi Kingston beating Matt Riddle was match of the night for sure. That was the main event match. That was the last match that they did tonight on the show. Kofi beating Matt Riddle after Trouble in Paradise. Riddle had Randy Orton in his corner Well, actually, Riddle asked Randy if he was going to be in his corner, and Randy's like, I don't know, maybe. And then he showed up midway through the match because Xavier Woods was distracting Riddle with the trombone, so Randy came in to kind of intimidate Xavier Woods. He did hit a suplex on Woods eventually. Riddle hit the Hangman DDT, Randy's Hangman DDT on Kofi. And then Randy was like, okay, now finish him. And Riddle was like, all right, I'm going to finish him. And he went for the RKO, but Randy didn't want him to do that. He wanted him to go for the Bro Derek, his finisher. But Riddle kind of showboating a little bit, went for the RKO. Kofi defended it. Riddle went for it again. Kofi defended, hits Trouble in Paradise. 1, 2, 3, Kofi wins. So Riddle disappointing Randy a little bit, not doing what Randy told him to do, and it wound up costing him the match. Good match, though. Excellent match. Excellent match between Kofi Kingston and Matt Riddle. Match of the night by far. Kofi and Riddle are two of the best talents in the WWE. Matt Riddle, each and every week, delivers a performance that merits consideration for match of the week for sure. Every single week on Raw, he's either match of the week or damn close. He kills it every time. He's a very, very talented guy, as is Kofi Kingston. I've been singing Kofi's praises for years now. I think Kofi is a top talent. I would love to see him become WWE champion again. I think Kofi and Riddle, I mean, you saw what Kofi, Riddle could do against each other. Wouldn't you rather that in a Hell in a Cell for the WWE Championship than Drew and Bobby? I think most people would. Now, you look at Drew and Bobby, okay, they look intimidating, but as far as like the matches and what they're actually going to do, I think guys like Kofi and Riddle are far more entertaining to watch these days in the WWE. I like Kofi and Riddle. I like RK Bro. I love the New Day, of course. This was the second match of the night for Kofi and Riddle. They both worked in the opening Tag Team Battle Royal. It was a Tag Team Battle Royal with the Viking Raiders, the Retribution guys, RK Bro, Woods and Kofi, and Lince Dorado, and AJ Styles and Omos were cutting a promo on them. The winner of the Battle Royal gets a shot at AJ and Omos for the Raw Tag Team titles at some point. They didn't say when. Miz showed up in a wheelchair with John Morrison. Miz is hurt, I guess. He hurt his knee. So Miz is out for a little bit. And Morrison was in the Battle Royal representing the team. So maybe Miz won't be out for that long. Morrison didn't win, though. I think Morrison was just in there to add some bodies. It was a weird way to start the show. And the Viking Raiders won. Ivar eliminated Riddle. Eric of the Viking Raiders eliminated Xavier Woods. Randy Orton then eliminated Kofi Kingston. And the Viking Raiders together eliminated Randy Orton and won. They won the Battle Royal. So it'll be the Viking Raiders versus AJ and Omos at some point for the Raw Tag Team titles. They didn't say when. You would think Hell in a Cell, but they've got one more episode of Raw before Hell in a Cell, by the way. Next week will be the go-home show to the next pay-per-view, Hell in a Cell. We got some news about Hell in a Cell. Drew McIntyre and Bobby Lashley did a contract signing that was not great. Long promo from Drew that just kind of, I don't know, he's talking about Scotland or something. It was strange. And then MVP and Bobby Lashley showed up. They were backstage with all the ladies, and they came out with all the ladies. And MVP put up a stipulation that if Drew McIntyre loses, he never gets a shot at Bobby Lashley's WWE Championship ever again. Which I say, yes, please. Like, come on. Let's move on. And Drew accepted, but then he said, okay, but under one condition, it's inside Hell in a Cell, so I get a fair fight. MVP's fine. Drew's fine. Bobby's fine. They're all fine. They're going to do it. Bobby's down with the program. He's like, yeah, I'll beat you in the cell. No problem. So if Drew loses, he can't get another shot at Bobby Lashley as WWE Champion, which is good. And I think Drew will wind up losing. And it's going to be in a Hell in a Cell. and usually the table gets broken at the end of a contract signing. Drew McIntyre took his sword, his big sword that he carries around, and smashed the sword through the table. That was that. I mean, now we know what the Hell in a Cell match is going to be. It's going to be Drew versus Bobby in the Hell in a Cell. And, I mean, that makes sense because they had a one-on-one match at Mania. They had a triple threat with Braun at WrestleMania Backlash. You got to do something different for this pay-per-view. It's called Hell in a Cell. Somebody's got to be in a cell. Makes sense, WWE title match. Apparently, Roman Reigns is going to wrestle Rey Mysterio. Going to defend the Universal title against Rey Mysterio. That's the rumor. I think Dave Meltzer was reporting that. Rey versus Roman at Hell in a Cell. We were speculating who might be Roman's opponent. Jimmy Uso. Somebody. Apparently it's going to be Rey. Which is fine. I love Rey Mysterio. Guys on the chat mostly talking about hockey. I don't know what you guys are talking about. People are like, the only thing that matters is hockey tonight. Well, but I'm talking about Raw. Like, I don't understand. That's all right. I guess you guys are excited. But, like, it's kind of weird. Do you care about Raw at all? Should I be talking about Raw or should I be talking about hockey? I mean, I'm not going to talk about hockey, so I don't know what's going on. Everybody in the chat is like talking about hockey, and I'm just like, yeah, all right. Nobody has any thoughts on wrestling tonight. All right. What else is going on Raw? Not in hockey, because I don't even know who the Canadians would play next. And I don't really care, to be honest. Sorry. Jackson Riker beat Elias by countout. I mean, I'm sure you're sad you missed that one, right? If you missed out on Raw, you missed out on Jackson Riker versus Elias, and Jackson Riker's got a new haircut. He's got a short haircut. Hey, that's something. I can't blame you for not being interested in Raw. It was pretty bad. It was some good moments, like good matches. Like I said, Riddle and Kofi, Charlotte and Rhea versus Asuka and Nia Asuka and Nikki was good, but there's a lot of bad. Jackson Riker versus Elias. I mean, come on. Patrick C. Hamilton dropping a super chat saying hockey season is over. I mean, it's so hot, It should be over. I feel like it's over. Yeah, Mako's not a member. I don't know why Mako isn't a member. Mako's always here. He's always watching the show, and he's not a member. I don't think he's ever super chatted, and he's like negative to other members on the channel. Mako's this close to being banned. All right, Mako? That's how I feel. That's how I do it. I'll ban you. He was saying mean things to Patrick. He was like trash-talking Patrick. Patrick is a loyal member and a super chatter. Patrick's my man. Mako, what can I say? Doug Hepburn, my man. He said he saw Zack Ryder during intermission. Thought he was Zack Ryder? What? Did you guys see Zack Ryder at GCW attacking Nick Gage? Did anybody see that? That was pretty cool. Zack Ryder showed up after a Nick Gage match in a GCW, pretended he was Jon Moxley under a hood, hit Jon Moxley's finisher, revealed himself to be Zack Ryder, and got major heat from all the Nick Gage fans, which was pretty damn cool. Zack Ryder attacking Nick Gage. So Zack Ryder's going to do some sort of death match with Nick Gage at some point, which is pretty badass. I think that'll be fun. I like that Zack Ryder's doing that. Good for Zack Ryder. So Elias and Jackson Riker no longer together. They broke up last week. They had a match this week. Riker was beating up Elias, and then Elias kind of escaped, and a count-out victory for Jackson Riker. Who cares? It was terrible. I don't care to see Jackson Riker or Elias wrestle ever, really. Another match went a count-out. Double count-out this time. It was Rick O'Shea versus Humberto Carrillo. They went to a double count-out.
Super chat.
It was a little flippy. Not great. Not my favorite match of the night. It was all right, but it wasn't great, and the finish was real bad. Sheamus was on commentary. Sheamus legit got his nose broken last week by Humberto. And he was wearing a face mask. He was in the hospital this week. You saw Sheamus. I think he got a little surgery on his nose ski to fix it. So Sheamus wearing a face mask on commentary. He's the United States champion. He's kind of feuding with both of these guys, Ricochet and Humberto, trying to figure out who the number one contender is. They wrestle each other. Goes to a double count out. Ricochet did a Spanish fly off the apron outside the ring. It was pretty cool. Cool finish, but like double count out. So not really a finish. Angelo dropping a super chat. He says, hockey season is over for your Jets, Patrick's GHG. GHG. GHB? Like go to sleep? No. GHG. Go Habs. Go? Honestly. Angelo says, I thought for a second he was John Moxley after I saw the paradigm shift. Right, that's what he was trying to do, Zack Ryder. It was pretty cool. Oh, Doug Hepburn says during the hockey game, he saw 5 minutes of Raw during the intermission, and he thought it was Riker. It was Ryder in the ring and not Riker. THC. That's correct, Doug Hepburn. THC. Go Habs go. Yeah, I figured that out eventually. I was like, I figured it out. I've seen that hashtag before, and I never clued in what it meant. I was like, what is that? MVP was backstage with Kofi Kingston, had an interesting chat with him, talked about being so proud of Kofi Mania, as Kofi wants to be the champion again. MVP says Kofi shook Drew's hand after the match after losing last week because he's comfortable being a loser. Kofi kind of tells MVP to watch his mouth and, he's doing things his way. But I think we're going to see Kofi and Bobby Lashley for the WWE Championship probably after this Drew thing. They kind of planted the seeds for Kofi to get a shot at Bobby. And, hey, hopefully he wins the title. Hopefully he does. Jeff Hardy beats Cedric Alexander via pinfall after a swanton. Kind of surprised Cedric Alexander breaks up with Shelton Benjamin, has a little feud with him, seems to go over, it seems to be done. And then Jeff Hardy comes back after being gone for a while and beats Cedric. Jeff, the veteran, comes back and just beats Cedric. It's good for Jeff to get wins and to come back and get a win, but I was a little surprised he did it over Cedric Alexander, who I thought WWE was trying to do stuff with, but, stop and start of WWE. That's classic. That's how they do it. The match was all right, actually. I like Jeff Hardy. Not my favorite match of the night, but it was solid. Jeff with the swanton. Brian Firth dropping a super chat wants to know, are we going to come out with an 11-ounce coffee mug? 11 ounce. I don't know how big that is. Maybe? Maybe. If that's what you are demanding, if that's what the customers are looking for, we'll make one. 11 ounce. 11 ounces is a lot. It's like... It's over a pound, isn't it? Mansoor beat Drew Gulak via pinfall after reversing a roll-up. How many ounces in a pound? No, that's not quite a pound, right? How many ounces are in a pound? 16, right? Doug Hepburn should know. Dropping the THC earlier. How many ounces in a pound? I think it's 16, right? If I get a quarter pound, it's 4. So, yeah. I think it's 16. I want to do a pound. Apparently, the production team is saying we can do 15 ounce. Yeah, Lauren's saying 16. Yeah, that's what I thought. 16. 16 ounces a pound. I want to do a pound cup. I don't want 15 ounce. I want 16. Can we throw a 16 in there? Probably not. Let's do 15. All right. Or we can do 11 or 15. Oh, good God almighty. Yeah, okay. Well, let's do an 11. Let's do an 11. Let's do it. What the hell? We'll do an 11. Mansoor beats Drew Gulak. Mansoor is that Saudi Arabian guy. They're trying to push him, and they got Mustafa Ali kind of like warning him of the troubles in WWE and like, let me help you because we're both Muslim, I guess? I don't know what the connection is. That seems to be what WWE's doing, though, right? It's like, oh, we got a new Muslim guy on the roster. Let's have another one of them kind of hang out with each other. WWE does that kind of thing. And it seems like what they're doing with Mustafa and Mansoor. Mansoor's kind of like the babyface. Like, no, I don't want to be a heel like you, Mustafa Ali. I want to do things the right way and be a babyface. Eventually, they're going to wrestle each other and no one will care, right? Mansoor, I don't understand why he's on Raw right now. They're trying to push him. It's tough for him to be a babyface because he's kind of the face of the WWE Saudi Arabia deal. Like, he wrestled Dolph Ziggler on a Saudi Arabia show. He's Saudi Arabian, and he only got signed because he's from Saudi Arabia. You know, so it's hard for him to be a babyface when there's so much heat on the WWE and their dealings with Saudi Arabia. He's kind of like, hey, here's our Saudi Arabian WWE superstar. Don't you all just love him? And people are like, yeah, I mean, nothing against him, but like that Saudi Arabia thing is kind of, and you're using him as propaganda and kind of to keep the Saudis happy. It's like, look, we have this guy and we're putting him over and he's from your country. And, you know, it's kind of helping WWE do deals with Saudi Arabia who may have some, you know, unscrupulous ways. So, I mean, they do. Saudi Arabia, you know, they're kind of sneaky guys sometimes. You know? Mansoor is it's weird to root for him. It's hard to root for him as a guy who's like the representative of that deal a little bit. It's not him. It's not his fault, you know, but WWE pushes him to make the Saudis happy. So if we buy into it, we're kind of helping make the Saudis happy, which, do you want to make those guys happy? It's a question you got to ask yourself. So when I see Mansoor wrestle, it's odd at this point. He's kind of got Saudi like logos on his trunks. It's like, oh, okay. And that's really his whole gimmick. He's like, hey, I'm Mansoor. I'm the guy from Saudi Arabia. You know me, Mansoor. He beat Drew Gulak. Drew Gulak really held his hand through a match, too. Watching this match, you could really tell how good Drew Gulak is. The guy is a super talent. He could be an excellent coach for years to come. Hopefully the WWE recognizes this and gives him a job for a couple of decades, because the guy knows professional wrestling. He's great in the ring. He carried Mansoor to that. I mean, the reversals and stuff, it was all Drew Gulak. He's a masterful technical wrestler. He really is. He'll never get over, but goddamn, he's good in the ring, and he can teach people how to wrestle, and he can carry guys like Mansoor to passable matches on live TV. Passable. And that's pretty much all that happened on Raw tonight, guys. Like, not much really went down. Viking Raiders won the Tag Team Battle Royal for a future Tag Team title shot. Jackson Riker beat Elias by countout. Drew McIntyre and Bobby Lashley agreed to stipulations for Hell in a Cell. Ricochet and Humberto went to a double countout. Jeff Hardy beat Cedric by pinfall. Nikki Cross and Asuka beat Rhea Ripley and Charlotte Flair, when Charlotte just beat up Ripley and Nikki Cross covered her. Mansoor beats Drew Gulak. Kofi over Riddle in the match of the night. And then the Alexa's Playground with Shayna, which was horrible. Like, the show up until then was not bad. You could have just deleted that, given a couple of the matches more time, and been way better off. But instead, they chose to close the show with the Alexa Bliss, Shayna Baszler segment that was god-awful. Brian First saying, yes, that's what I want. A 15-ounce, and that's what I am demanding. Brian Firth is demanding the 15-ounce. He wants 15-ounce. All right. All right, then. And Doug gets his pre-rolled, so he doesn't know exactly how many is in a pound. But Lauren Cronish knows exactly how much is in a pound. Big respect to my old school G's. Of course, Angelo reminding me next week, the Evolution arrives. And we're not talking about Ric Flair, Batista, Randy Orton, and Triple H. We're talking about Eva Marie, the Evolution, not Evolution. Eva Marie will be on Raw next week. Aren't we all excited about the return of Eva Marie? Apparently she's going to bring in Piper Niven, who's from NXT UK, and somebody else with her. She's going to come with people. Something new, I guess. They fire Braun Strowman. He's not on Raw anymore, big monster among men. But instead we have Eva Marie. Hey! No room for, Buddy Murphy or Aleister Black, but let's get Eva Marie. I mean, even Santana Garrett. I mean, she can wrestle. Eva Marie. Yeah. That's happening next week. We'll see what that is. We'll see if Shayna's still alive. Angelo reminding me SummerSlam will take place at Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas August 21st. Yep. It's a Saturday show, SummerSlam. In Vegas, which we knew about. We knew it was going to happen. They just took their time in announcing it. It was obvious that it was going to be Las Vegas, SummerSlam. And the rumored main event for SummerSlam is Roman Reigns versus John Cena. Not bad. Been done before. Cena probably coming in to do the JOB. I don't think Cena's going to be taking the belt from Roman. It's a big match. It's a marquee match, but it's not one where I believe John Cena is going to walk away a winner. It's kind of tough to sell John Cena winning and then being champion and sticking around and defending the belt? Not really likely. If Cena was more regular in the WWE, yeah, Cena Roman for the title, that would make sense. But Cena's so busy. He's doing so many movies, so many different projects. I don't see him sticking around for a even short title run where he shows up every once in a while. I don't see Cena doing that. I don't see them doing that with Cena. So the Cena-Roman match is, big on paper, but if you actually think about it, and when you actually watch it, I don't think it'll be that great. I think match quality-wise will be, pretty low. I don't think the match will be very good at all. And going into it, you're going to know that Roman's going to win. So what's the point? Just to do it? I don't see the point. Brock Lesnar's also supposed to return at SummerSlam. That's a rumor anyways. I would put him in the match and make it a triple threat. Then, at least you never know. Spice up the match, too. Brock, Cena, Roman. Everybody's coming after Roman. Cena comes back. He's coming for Roman. Brock comes back. He's like, you stole my manager. Paul Heyman's supposed to be with me. I'm coming for you, Roman. If I beat you, I get Paul Heyman back and the belt. But Cena-Roman as the rumored main event for SummerSlam is kind of When I first heard about it, I was like, cool, Cena, that's all right, big star. But now, the more I think about it, the more I don't like it. Because the match won't be that good, and then the story going into it, the promos will be good going into it, but I just won't believe that John Cena will beat Roman and take the title. If it was just a match, non-title, yes, I'd have a better time believing that Cena could win in a non-title match. But for the belt, that means if he wins, he has to stay. And I don't see him staying. Bob Burger says, Cena went Hollywood, and we need Brock. I don't know about that. I don't know if we need Brock. I really don't. I haven't missed him. Have you missed him? When he's around, he's barely around. He's got some matches that are all right, but honestly, I think his match quality was starting to diminish. So, I don't know if we need Brock Lesnar. I'm not, I love Brock and all, but I'm not missing Brock Lesnar. I'm missing Daniel Bryan. Where's Daniel Bryan? Is he coming back? A lot of old school guys sticking with me since way back. Angelo talking about back in the day, listening on the radio. Brian Firth as well, listening to me back when I was on the radio, back when we started this show in 2006 as a radio show. And now look at us, a full-blown YouTube network. YouTube, Facebook, Twitch. And the 15-ounce Wrestling Uncensored mug is available for order right now at merch.ringsidereport.net. Good God almighty. For real, for real? You see how fast our team is? Brian, go buy the mug right now. And then tell me if it works, because Angelo... Brian, if you buy the mug, tell me if it works for you, because Angelo can't seem to buy merch on the website, and I don't know why. He's like, sends me direct messages. He's like, I can't buy the merch. It doesn't work. I'm like, no. I want you to buy the merch. Why? No. Oh, cool Wrestling Uncensored mug available. 11-ounce or 15. Oh, no, 15-ounce. It's a 15-ounce option. Okay? 15-ounce option right now. Go to merch.ringsidereport.net. Brian, if you do pick it up, let me know if it works and the order, like you're able to do it without any errors, because Angelo was having problems. Maybe you could help Angelo. I don't know. I mean, I want you guys to be able to buy the merch, right? That's why it's there. Yeah. A lot of guys making different comments in the chat about the radio station and so on. I never listened to the radio even when I was on the radio, and I don't listen to the radio now. And I'm super happy to be out of the radio business in general. A lot of you guys know that my kind of day job was in radio, and I'm not doing that anymore, and it feels great. It feels fantastic, because, yeah, it's kind of boring, right? It's kind of like... It's kind of watered down, and, there are reasons for that, but I'm not going to go into it. I don't want to bash anybody. I mean, I kind of do, but I know I shouldn't. You know what I mean? You know when you want to shit on people, but you're like, I got to take the high road. I really shouldn't shit on these guys, but, not any of the talent. The management is a little wonky, a little nerdy, a little just, All right. Yeah. Mako's been with us since the radio days. Hey, Mako. Don't worry, you're not banned. And Lauren says we stopped numbering the podcast. No, Wrestling Uncensored still has numbers. Where are we in Wrestling Uncensored? Wrestling Uncensored episode 500 and something, right? God damn, there's been a lot of these shows. Wrestling Uncensored episode 543 is the latest. Andrade is all elite. Check it out right now at ringsidereport.net. I reacted live to Andrade joining AEW because we watched AEW Dynamite live with you last Friday night, as we are going to do this coming Friday night, 10 p.m. Eastern, for episode 544 of Wrestling Uncensored. 10 p.m. Eastern, right after SmackDown, I'll be here with Johnny North, watching AEW Dynamite with you, and recapping WWE Smackdown. Every Friday night, 10 p.m. right here on the Ringside Report Network. I am here with Johnny North, which will be fun. Doug Hepburn says, first time I heard Dave on the radio after a Habs game, it was a Triple H impression. Oh, that's good. Yeah. Bob Berger says you can still find all our podcasts on iHeartRadio. Yeah, well, it's a podcasting app. It has nothing to do with Bell Media or anything. It's just a podcasting app, and we're on all the podcasting platforms. It has nothing to do with the radio station. I have zero affiliations with Bell Media or that radio station whatsoever. And I will never again. I've banned them. Doug Hepburn says, I am Triple H, the cerebral assassin. I'm that damn good. I'm the measuring stick. I love Triple H. I miss when he used to do promos and I could make fun of them on a weekly basis. Don't forget, I've been doing this show since 2006, so I've been making fun of wrestlers for a long time. I remember a Triple H Randy Orton cage match that I saw at a house show here in Montreal. I put bumps over-under at 2.5, and they hit the under. Sickening. A cage match. 2.5 combined bumps was the over-under for Triple H Randy, and they went under. They did less than 2.5 bumps in a cage match. Really phoning it in. I'm so lazy, and I taught my wrestling son Randy to be lazy, just like me, because I told everybody to slow down their work rate, because they were making me look bad, which is what exactly fucking happened, by the way. Triple H gained all that political influence, and he was like, Vince, we need to make people slow down. Everybody's getting hurt. Kurt Angle's outworking me. And then it's like, okay, we got to slow down. We're going to ban this. Right? That's what happened. Slow down the goddamn work because Triple H couldn't catch up. But he claimed it was for safety. Bullshit. Triple H. What a character. You gotta love that guy. You imagine a day when he's like not in trouble, not in charge of WWE? Like imagine if he was just like a guy. Like if WWE gets bought out, he's just a man. He's just a man who used to wrestle. Crazy. What is this? Oh, Brian Firth just got... Did you just get... Did you buy it, Brian? I think you did. Is that... I think I got a message. So Brian got the merch. See, Angelo, it works for some people. I don't understand why it doesn't work for you. Just asking for a super chat for a coffee mug, and now I have my own. Yeah. There you go. So Brian bought it. I think. Brian, just say, yes, I bought it. And it worked. I think he did. I think that was the message. I don't understand. I think it's working for everybody. I don't know why it wasn't working for Angelo. Maybe our site doesn't like Angelo for some reason. The merch site is just firewall. I just say that. I say words. I don't really know what they mean. Firewall, spam folder, cryptocurrency. I'm throwing terms out there. And when I start doing that, that means time to wrap up the show. Don't forget to like this video. Don't forget to subscribe. Subscribe to the channel. We do appreciate when you subscribe. It's very nice. It helps us. We got a lot of subscribers, and we always want more. We're kicking ass in all the ways, and we appreciate you. You can go to ringsidereport.net. You go to merch.ringsidereport.net and buy a brand new 15-ounce Wrestling Uncensored coffee mug that Brian Firth asked for. And boom, now he has received, and it will be coming in the mail. That is pretty damn cool. So Brian Firth asks, and there you go. You can go buy the merch right now, merch.ringsidereport.net. Thank you to everybody for joining us. Angelo, I don't know why, but we'll figure it out. We will hook you up with the merch. Angelo dropping a super chat. Uh-oh. Does that mean he's the leader? I know I should count, like, who's the leader. I usually give a super chat leader of the night. I haven't really been paying attention. Patrick, Angelo, Brian Firth. Brian and Angelo are actually kind of tight, right? Doug Hepburn as well. Thank you, Doug. I want to tell Angelo, or it's between Angelo and Brian tonight, and I think Brian... Oh, they're tied. Oh, you're tied. Okay, perfect. Let's just leave it at that. All right, tied. No winner. Everybody wins. You're both winners. We're all winners. We are all winners on the Ringside Report Network. And, of course, the Canadians won tonight, and they're moving on to the next round to play another hockey team. I don't think it's a Canadian team now. It's like another something. I don't know. So watch that. I don't know when the first game will be, but I'm sure it'll be fun. Go Canadians. GHG, GHB for you all, THC. And don't forget, I'll be back on here on Thursday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Time for Ringside Report MMA. We will preview UFC 263. And don't forget, not just your pro wrestling analysis, but this is the best place for MMA analysis and winning picks. Once again, Team Dave cashing in last weekend. My parlays are on fire. I win every weekend. It's ridiculous. I am printing money for you guys every single week, Thursday night, 8 p.m. on the Ringside Report Network. 8 p.m. Eastern Time, I will be giving you more winners for UFC 263. I gave you Ilir Latifi and Jairzinho Rosenstrike. That was my parlay last week. Ilir was a dog. Jairzinho, slight favorite in the main event. It cashed in, killing the game in picks right now. Like, I am on fire for UFC picks, so you gotta check us out every Thursday night at 8 p.m. We are very, very busy, and we're giving you big picks. And I've got some big picks for this weekend. I'm ready for the main card. I am ready. Angelo says Vegas or Colorado will be next for the Canadians. All right. Thursday night, 8 p.m. right here. Going to give you some winning picks for UFC 263 with AJ and Freddie. Thank you to everybody for joining us here tonight. Become a member of the team. Thank you, Doug. Thank you, Brian. Yes, Brian got the new mug. Awesome. Very happy for you, Brian. Thank you for purchasing the mug. Angelo, shout out to you. Shout out to everybody. Bob Burgers. Who else is on the chat tonight? Give a roll call. Lauren Cronish out in Cote St. Luke. Mako. Bob Cote. And so on. And the rest. Patrick C. Hamilton, of course, in Regina. Sorry about the Jets, Patrick. There's always next year, my man. That's sports, right? There's a winner, there's a loser. That's how we go. You can't always win. Next year, hopefully, better for you, my man. Go Canadians. Hope they continue to do well, and I hope the Expos come back. I really do. That'd be nice. That would be nice. Okay, love you all. See you on Thursday night, 8 p.m. Ringside Report MMA.